Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan.
We've got to talk about Meghan Markle.
I remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
And just when this age puzzle couldn't get messier, her own child's birth certificate got edited. If Megyn thought age rumors were bad, the chaos over Archie's birth certificate made things 10 times worse. When Archie was born in 2019, the original document listed Meghan's full first and middle names: standard, normal, nothing to see. But just weeks later, the record was officially amended. Suddenly, her personal names vanished, replaced only with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Now ask yourself, who does that? Birth certificates aren't Instagram captions you can edit to fit your aesthetic. They're legal records, permanent, final, unless, of course, someone pulls strings. And Megyn,
She's absolutely ruthless. There's nothing original here,
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
which is really such a fake.
who claims to crave transparency, somehow managed to wipe her own name from her son's history. Why? That's the million-dollar question. For critics, this wasn't just about Archie. It became proof of a larger habit. If she could tweak her child's documents without blinking, what else might she have altered about her own past? School records, alumni logs, even her supposed birth year. Once you see a royal document edited under her watch, the idea of Meghan's biography being airbrushed doesn't feel far-fetched.
When she was younger,
Hi, Daddy. I got an English award.
100% a bully brat. That was her goal. Hashtag goal, to marry Prince Harry.
It feels like standard practice. And the worst part, Megyn tried to spin it, pointing fingers at palace protocols. But the damage was already done. The narrative stuck. Megyn doesn't just control her image. She controls the paperwork. And when paperwork starts changing, trust evaporates.
For the longest time, she wanted to be a dancer.
Meghan Markle's not an idiot.
I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie, click.
Her classmates, older. The group photos, strange. Her official documents, quietly amended.
Yeah, she had a very clear idea of where she wanted her path
But
to
the
take her.
photo isn't an isolated problem. It's just the opening crack in a pattern that gets uglier the deeper you go. One suspicious photo could be brushed off as a coincidence. But when the same weird age gap shows up again and again, that's no accident. That's a pattern. And Meghan's entire past is littered with these timeline screw-ups that make her official 1981 birth year look like a joke. Check alumni records, reunions, even old event listings. Megyn keeps popping up in groups where she's the lone outlier. Everyone else fits the era. She doesn't. It's like she's crashing someone else's decade, smiling for the camera, and banking on nobody doing the math. It's messy, it's obvious, and it screams cover-up. And here's the brutal truth: Megyn isn't the victim of a misunderstood timeline. She's the architect of it. The constant reshuffling of where she belongs makes it clear she's been chiseling away at her biography, shaving off years like an aging actress desperate to keep the Anjani label. Only problem, Hollywood cover stories can slide under the radar. Royal records, not so much. When you marry into the monarchy, your receipts get examined, and Meghan's receipts are a disaster. This isn't an isolated hiccup. It's a chain of inconsistencies stacked so high they collapse under their own weight. A real life built on edits, tweaks, and rewrites. Megyn wanted a perfect fairy tale, but what she left behind is a trail of lies so obvious it's embarrassing.
It was planned from the beginning.
We're talking about royal records, carefully curated photos.
The official story says Meghan Markle was born on August 4th, 1981. But if you believe that, you probably also believe Hollywood stars don't get Botox. Because the whispers have been around for years, and they're ugly. Even the mention of 1975, that's not a slip of the tongue. That's an entire rewrite of nearly half a decade. Let's spell it out. If Megyn was born in 75 instead of 81, she's not 42, she's pushing 48.
Meghan Markle has nothing.
Someday Meghan's going to realize that she's obviously missing out.
I think when I was 30, if I thought about 50, I thought that is an awful long way away. And I don't really need to think about it. And then I blinked and I'm 50. That's crazy.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
And that completely wrecks the image she spent her career selling. The fresh-faced actress chasing a dream? Gone. The modern, youthful royal bringing new energy to the crown? Exposed as pure branding. Instead, we're looking at someone who's been carefully trimming her age like a Hollywood headshot, cropping out the inconvenient years and hoping no one notices the missing time. And here's the kicker, the rumors didn't just come from trolls online. They surfaced in forums, alumni chatter, even gossip columns long before Meghan became a duchess. Meaning this wasn't some post-royal conspiracy. The doubts about her birth year have been shadowing her for decades. When multiple years keep showing up, it stops being speculation. It starts looking like intent. Because let's face it, normal people don't have 3 different possible birth years floating around. Meghan does, and every one of them makes her look older, more calculating, and more desperate to pass off a fake timeline as the truth.
The pieces lined up, you'll wonder if Meghan's biggest acting job wasn't Suits, but her own life story.
So before she met Harry, you had no doubt she was your sister.
My little sister, though, I said.
It all starts with one photo, a group shot from Northwestern University's Salsa Club. At first glance, it looks innocent, a bunch of smiling faces frozen in early 2000s nostalgia. The people in that picture, most of them were born in the early 1970s. And yet right there in the middle is Meghan, supposedly born in 1981.
When it comes to Meghan Markle's past, the photos tell a story. Or rather, the absence of photos does. Most people have a messy trail of yearbook shots, college candidates, and awkward party pictures floating around online. Not Meghan. Her images seem to appear only when they serve her, then vanish like they've been yanked from circulation. It's not organic. It's curated, like a PR stunt disguised as nostalgia. Think about it, old school photos don't just magically re-emerge on schedule. Yet with Meghan, they resurface in sudden waves, usually when public pressure is mounting.
The ages don't align, the timelines don't align, and the excuses non-existent. It reeks of somewhere the math simply doesn't add up. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But the photo
have called it strategic timing, as if someone behind the curtain decides exactly which snapshots the world gets to see, and when. It feels less like a natural archive and more like an image management operation. And here's the problem, when photos are controlled this tightly, it screams insecurity.
Suspicious photo could be brushed off as a coincidence, but when the same weird age gap shows up, past is littered with these timeline screw-ups that make her official 1981 birth year look like a joke.
August 4th, 40 years ago, Meghan was born, and she was born as a C-section, so she was put in my arm.
If Meghan's history was clean, we'd see it in full, not in carefully measured doses. The selective releases only fuel suspicion that there's something she's desperate to hide. A missing year here, a suspicious gap there, a timeline stitched together with glossy throwbacks.
Smiling for the camera and banking on nobody doing the math. It's messy, it's obvious, and it screams cover. The official story says Meghan Markle was born on August 4th, but if you believe that, you probably also...
Instead of building credibility, Meghan's photo game makes her look staged, edited, and terrified of reality leaking out. She doesn't just control her brand. She micromanages her own history like a Hollywood production. And every time her past gets staged, the age rumors roar back to life.
Let's spell it out. If Meghan was born in 75 instead of 81, she's not 42.
She was my little sis. I would have loved to have had siblings, so I'm so excited to be pregnant that Archie has someone.
Chaos over Archie's birth certificate made things 10 times worse. When Archie was born in 2019...
But the real nightmare comes when you ask, what if the rumors aren't just noise? What if this time they're actually true? Let's strip away the speculation for a second and stare down the nightmare scenario. What if Meghan Markle really is older than she claims?
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
If those alternative birth years are accurate, then her official biography isn't just sloppy. It's a calculated lie. That means there are missing years deliberately carved out, erased from her public image like they never happened. And the question is why? If Megyn chopped 4, 5, maybe even 6 years off her life, it changes everything. It rewrites her Hollywood backstory, turning her from a young up-and-comer to a woman struggling to break through well past the industry's cutoff age. It
Megyn is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke.
Shapes her royal fairy tale, exposing her as someone who built a global brand on an age that may never have been real. And it paints her not as a victim of gossip, but as an active participant in one of the slickest personal rebrands we've ever seen. Hollywood stars lying about their age is nothing new. But Megyn isn't just another actress clinging to youth. She married into royalty, an institution obsessed with tradition, records, and bloodlines. If her age really is a lie, then she didn't just fool Hollywood casting directors. She fooled Buckingham Palace. She fooled the monarchy. She fooled the world. And that isn't just embarrassing. That's history rewritten with a straight face. Especially when lawsuits and family drama drag her skeletons into the spotlight. Every time Meghan Markle steps into a courtroom or drags her family into legal battles, the age rumors come storming back like vultures circling. And it's no coincidence. Lawsuits have a nasty way of dragging old receipts into the light. And Meghan's life is stacked with unresolved contradictions just waiting to be weaponized. Take Samantha Markle's defamation case. The moment it hit headlines, the whispers reignited. If Meghan lies about her family, what else has she been lying about? Cue the age question. Cue the photos. Cue the endless speculation about missing years. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the polished duchess fighting for truth. She was the unreliable sister with a tangled past. And here's the brutal reality: Meghan invites this chaos. Every lawsuit she launches, every legal fight she fuels just reopens the vault of suspicion. Instead of closing the door on her critics, she keeps handing them ammunition. Her own actions ensure the rumors never die. In fact, they thrive. It's a cycle she can't escape. The moment she makes headlines, the internet digs, the timelines resurface, the missing years are dissected, and the whispers about her real age grow louder. Meghan might think she's silencing detractors, but in reality, she's keeping the rumor mill spinning like a machine she can't shut off.
She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
Megyn Kelly didn't just drop a question. She threw a grenade. Is Meghan Markle really 44, or maybe even older? That single jab ripped open a rumor so explosive it refuses to die. When it comes to Meghan, nothing ever seems to add up. Her timeline feels like a Hollywood script with missing pages, rewritten scenes, and more edits than a Netflix reality show. Think about it, the woman who preaches authenticity seems to be hiding from the one thing no royal title can cover up: her actual age. Her classmates were older, the group photos strange, her official documents quietly amended. Every time you look closer, the cracks get wider. And Meghan? She just keeps smiling like it's all coincidence. But here's the kicker: this isn't just idle gossip. We're talking about royal records, carefully curated photos, and a pattern that feels less like chance and more like a carefully constructed cover-up. Meghan has built an empire on image, yet the foundation might not even match the blueprint. She wants the world to believe she's the Hollywood princess who married into royalty. But what if she's been playing a role the entire time and the script doesn't match the reality? Stick around, because we're breaking down the rumors, the records, and the receipts. Once you see the pieces lined up, you'll wonder if Meghan's biggest acting job wasn't Suits, but her own life story.
Well, that's her first wedding in Jamaica. That's one of my favorite pictures. I'd like
Rumors
to have
are
that
dangerous
experience
because once
with
they
my
get
granddaughter.
oxygen, they don't just survive, they evolve. And Meghan Markle has become the perfect storm for this cycle. One outlet drops a headline, a blogger adds a source, an old photo resurfaces, and before you know it, speculation transforms into something that feels like fact. With Meghan, it's practically a conveyor belt of scandal. One whisper feeds the next until the entire narrative takes on a life independent of reality. Here's the brutal part: Meghan herself fuels it. Every time she dodges questions, curates her past, or edits documents, she creates gaps, and gossip thrives in gaps. People fill the blanks with their own theories, and those theories spread like wildfire. Whether it's age, timelines, or missing photos, once the rumor gets traction, it snowballs into a permanent stain. It's not about proof anymore. It's about perception. And Meghan's perception is toxic. She's the woman who always seems to have mysteries trailing behind her. The Duchess with a past that refuses to sit still. And in the age of social media, perception is reality. People don't fact-check, they share. They don't pause, they react. And Meghan, more than anyone, has learned the brutal lesson: once a rumor sticks, it's nearly impossible to scrape it off.
Shots, college candidates, and awkward party pictures floating around online. Not Meghan. Her images seem to appear only when they serve her, then vanish like they've been yanked from circulation.
It all starts with one photo, a group shot from Northwestern University's Salsa Club. At first glance, it looks innocent, a bunch of smiling faces frozen in early 2000s nostalgia. But dig deeper, and it's like stepping into a glitch in the Matrix. The people in that picture? Most of them were born in the early 1970s. Meaning today they'd be in their early 50s. And yet, right there in the middle is Meghan, supposedly born in 1981, which would make her nearly a decade younger than her so-called peers. Let's get real, who just casually ends up in a group years older than them, blending in like it's totally normal? It's the equivalent of a 10th grader suddenly showing up at a college reunion and pretending they belong.
Old school photos don't just magically re-emerge on schedule, yet with Meghan, they resurface in sudden waves. Usually,
the ages don't align, the timelines don't align, and the excuses are non-existent. It reeks of someone parachuting into a timeline that isn't theirs and hoping no one notices. That one Salsa Club photo is the kind of smoking gun Meghan never wanted circulated because it doesn't just raise eyebrows, it blows them off entirely. It's not a flattering throwback. It's evidence. It shows a woman desperately trying to plant herself in a story where the math simply doesn't add up. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.